Hi there, my name is Alexis Marin, and I am a registered drama therapist, a life coach, and a speaker. I am going to implore all of us to do something a little bit differently when it comes to how we talk about the different choices that we have in our lives. We have a tendency to use the phrase, well, I have no choice, when we feel backed into a corner about something, when we feel like we don't have personal agency anymore or the ability to make a decision for ourselves. We kind of throw up our hands and use that language of I have no other choice, or I have no choice. And where I understand why we say that, of course I do, it really does put us in a bit of a defeatist mindset where we feel like we are at the end of options and the end of our rope. And so we may have to choose something out of spite or choose something because we have to. So what I think that we should do, I think something that would feel more empowering and actually doesn't stop the process of us thinking through options, is to say instead of saying, I have no choice, to say, I always have a choice. It just so happens that in this instance, I have to choose between two things that aren't favorable for me. I don't have an ideal option here in these choices, but I'm going to choose to take this path, okay? We always have a choice. Even if the choice is you are 100% backed into a corner and absolutely have to do something and there is no way around it, you still have a choice as to how you're going to handle that mentally, the attitude with which you're going to approach this thing that maybe you feel backed into a corner to do. The reason why I think it's vital for us as individuals who are trying to navigate this world in a way that feels like we have some semblance of control over ourselves and the trajectory of our life is to empower us by saying, not that I'm helpless, not that I have no choice, but to really acknowledge I have options here. I don't like either of them, but I'm going to sit down and take a look deeply into both of those options and then choose which option I feel most comfortable attaching to myself to at this particular moment. Throwing up our hands and saying, I have no choice, stops the process of you thinking through in a creative way the different options that you have in front of you. And even if those two options at first glance feel like something that you don't want to do at all, you don't want to be involved in, perhaps if you said, well, these are my choices, let me work from that place and try to make the best of one of these two options. That mindset is going to be able to help you get through this challenging time of maybe having to confront or to do something you don't want to do. I have no choice feels helpless. I have no choice feels like giving up. I have no choice feels like there may be resentment attached to whatever you are about to go do. And resentment happens, I get that. But again, if you say, I have choices, I don't like the two things I have to choose from, but if I sit back and I analyze both sides of this coin, I hope I flip and get this side, then you have much more sense of self and agency and the ability to acknowledge that you can work through all of the options that are presented to you. I'm saying this now in particular to where we find ourselves in the world today, where we find ourselves in America, specifically where we find ourselves in California. We are being torn between personal freedoms and civil liberties and responsibility to a larger, greater good. And those are two very important principles that make up this country. And many of us are finding ourselves feeling defensive on either side, trying to make a case for both of those things. I hope that this was insightful for you today. I hope that this inspires you to not give up, to know that you always have choices, and to really take the power back into your life to know that you can say what you want, even if between the two choices it doesn't feel like there's a lot of room left. All right, everybody, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you visiting me today. For more information about me and drama therapy in general, you can visit my website, which is www.alexismarin.com. Be safe, be well, be kind to each other, and I will talk to you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.